Hi, this is Don, aka Cowboy Biker at Cowboy Biker Adventures. I hope you enjoy this visual tour of Hickory Creek Park in Lewisville, Texas, on Lewisville Lake, just west of I-35 East. This is a Corps Engineer campground. Here you can see that I'm entering the park. You will only be able to camp. There's no day use. There's no entry fee. It is $30 to camp per night. Because it's a Corps Engineers campground, if you have a America Beautiful or a senior pass for the national parks, it's half that, so $15 a day is a bargain. They have 50 amp sites. There's 110 of them. There's also 10 primitive camping sites. All sites again have 50 amps. There is no sewer hookup. There is a dump station on the way out, which we will discuss more later. They also have water at every site. This is a visual tour of this park. This is not a true review. I will do that in my next video. You can see that it's about a 1.5 mile ride from the entry gate to the first loop of campsites, which will be on the right. You will see that we're passing the dump station on the left here in a moment. If you see the water tower coming up, that is your indication. Right past that is the first loop of campsites. Again, if you'll look to your left, that is the dump station. We'll talk about more on the way out. You're coming up on the first loop of campsites to the right. This is campsites 1 through 41. There is a camp host here on the right at the first site on the right. You can see their fifth wheel coming up. Hopefully you can see a little bit about each site. You can pause it if you need to. They do have several pull-throughs. There was one, first one on the right there. I'm not sure how many they have. I believe roughly 20. You can see the lake is on the right on this particular loop. There is, I believe, 5 total camp hosts throughout the park. On this first loop, there's actually 2, one at the beginning of the loop, one at the end of the loop. Also, I need to mention that there are miles and miles of walking trails. If you will look to the sides while we're riding around this park, you will see them. They meander all over the park and kind of interconnect together. and we're coming up to where it tees back into the main road. Again, these loops all have one-way driving on them, except for the main road and one other road that tees into the main road. The rest of them are one-way. We're coming up on one of the bathhouses, restrooms. They seem to be fairly clean. I did go in this one. I have not used them, but they are open even during COVID. And this is campsites 42 through 93. And again, here's another pull through. I may have overestimated on 20 pull throughs, or maybe more closer to 12 to 15. Again, you can see the lake, and we're going to come up on a offshoot of this loop, which will contain campsites 81 through 93, which is probably considered the most coveted campsites. Here we go, right here. We're entering that area on the whole campground. When I tried to make my 2-week reservations, this was not available. Keep in mind, you only can come in for 14 days on Corps of Engineers campgrounds, and then you have to be out for, I believe it is, another 14 days. Again, we're still continuing on that loop, and we will get back to the main road here in a little bit. And this is a big chunk of the loop, or I should say of the campgrounds. Like I said, this is one way, except for the main road, and we're going to find out here in just a moment why it is one way, as I come across a car that went the wrong direction. But she was kind and she moved over, so everything was cool. And there she is. Anyhow, we're coming up onto the main road here in just a moment, and then we're going to go straight across to the next loop. And then this next loop is campsites 94 through 104, and it actually has a circle at the end that terminates at another bathhouse restroom. A lot of these sites have shade, some don't. A lot of them are level. I know the site I used was almost perfectly level. I think it was 1 degree off. Also, be aware, I filmed this on July 14, 2020. I believe it was the very next day they was out doing a lot of mowing. They didn't mow everything, but they mowed a lot of it. So they do keep it up somewhat. We're going to take a left here and go back to the main road. And then we will take a right. And we will come down to the final loop. And this road is also two-way because it also goes down to the boat ramp here in a little bit. But first we're going to take a left up here and you'll see another bathhouse restroom. And this loop of sites are numbered 105 through 124. This was on a Tuesday around noon. As you can see, they have a lot of empty sites. But if you come here on the weekend, every site is taken. So make your reservations early. Again, this was July 14th. Oh, by the way, that's a cool boat right there, I just noticed. But this was July. This is Texas. It is hot. This was the coolest day I'd seen since I've been here, and it was still heat index of 100 at this point. We're going to take a left here, and we're going to ride down to the boat ramp and where they park the boats. Boat ramps straight ahead. You can see that if you're going to take a left here, this is where you park your boats or boat trailers. We're going to come up here. It's a dead end, so we'll make a U-turn. And again, you can see the boat ramp right there on the left. And again, this road here is two-way. The other day I was riding through here, and right at this spot right here, I had to stop while 5 deer crossed the road. That is the only wildlife I've seen out here. And again, we're going to come up to the main road. We'll tee into it and we will turn to the right, which is towards the exit of the park. And on the right, here is the dump station. They have 2 lanes, but it only has one dump hole for sewer if you're in an RV. And there it is. It looks like they have some rinsing hose, etc. But continuing on, we will go back to the main gate. Be sure to stick around to the end where I will have maps of this campground. I hope you have enjoyed this visual tour of Hickory Creek Campground. Again, this is a Corps of Engineers campground. If you enjoy this type of thing, I hope you subscribe, give me a thumbs up. Please leave comments, especially if you're familiar with this campground, since this is the one and only time I've stayed here. I'm sure you've got a whole lot more to add, so leave them in the comments below to help other people out.